A young student sits on a stone step, clutching a pile of ancient scrolls. Not far away, a householder anxiously balances a ledger and a plate of offerings, while in the forest, an older figure quietly tends a fire, eyes lifted to the horizon. At the edge of it all, a wandering sage walks alone, leaving behind every comfort and every name. Why did ancient Vedic sages divide life into 4 distinct stages, each with its own guiding principle and sacrifices? What secret were they protecting, not just for society, but for the individual? And if these stages were never strict rules, why did they urge us all to let go, again and again, of what we'd worked so hard to build? If you want more explanations like this, subscribe and hit like. This isn't just an old map for monks or philosophers. It's a blueprint for balance, a way to navigate learning, ambition, community, letting go, and finally, something beyond all of them. The 4 Ashrams, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, are not rigid compartments but living stages, each teaching a lesson about what it means to be human, and how to live in harmony with yourself and the world. So, what was the deep logic behind this system? And what did the sages understand about life's rhythm that most of us overlook? Let's begin with Brahmacharya. This is the stage of focused learning and self-discipline. Imagine young minds gathering in gurukuls, where knowledge was not restricted by birth or background, but open to all who sought it. The goal here wasn't just to collect information, but to train your attention, build inner strength, and sharpen your will. It was about learning to guide your energy, restraint not as denial, but as the soil from which real freedom grows. You immerse yourself in study, skill, and reflection, laying a foundation not just for a career, but for character. Why so much emphasis on learning first? Because the sages believed that a scattered mind cannot create, love, or serve wisely. Only by mastering yourself could you step into the world without being mastered by it. But Brahmacharya was never meant to last forever. It's a season, not a prison, a time to prepare for all that follows. Next comes Grihastha, the householder's ashram. This is the center of the cyclone. Family, work, relationships, responsibility, wealth, desire, and joy. Here, you're called to give back, to build and sustain community, to nurture the next generation. The ancient texts saw this as the most active and most challenging stage. Why? Because the very forces that help you thrive, attachment, ambition, pleasure, can easily become chains. You're encouraged to pursue prosperity and fulfillment, but always with a sense of duty, ethics, and balance. The Grihastha is asked to support others, to contribute, and to remember, nothing you possess is truly yours forever. This is where modern life often gets stuck, seeing adulthood and achievement as the point of it all. But in the Vedic view, Grihastha is not the summit, just the heart of the journey, where you test what you learned as a student and set the stage for future letting go. Then, as years pass or insight deepens, something shifts. This is Vanaprastha, the forest dweller. Traditionally, it meant leaving behind daily duties to guide, mentor, and prepare the next generation, moving toward a life of simplicity and reflection. But you don't have to literally go to the forest. The real message is about releasing attachment, beginning to step back, to observe, to hand over control. It's a time to share your wisdom, to give away what you've gathered, and to loosen the grip of ego. Vanaprastha teaches, you are more than your achievements, more than your possessions. It's about making peace with change and rediscovering the freedom of not being at the center. Why not just keep leading, keep accumulating? Because, the sages said, only by stepping back can you see what truly matters. Only by detaching can you enjoy life's richness without fear of losing it. Vanaprastha is a gentle unlearning, a rehearsal for the final act. Finally, there is Sannyasa, the renunciate. This is the most radical and the most misunderstood stage. Here, you let go of every former identity, student, spouse, parent, even teacher. Sannyasa is not about escape or cynicism. It's about turning inward, seeking the source of all experience, and letting go of every claim to name, status, or story. The sages taught that sannyasa can come at any age, through shock, realization, or choice. What matters is the total release, the willingness to walk into the unknown, anchored only in awareness itself. But why end here? Because, in the Vedic vision, the purpose of life is not just to learn, build, or enjoy, but to realize a deeper freedom, to see through the illusion of possession and separation. Sannyasa asks, can you be content with nothing? Can you rest in the simple truth of being, without roles or rewards? Today, these stages are often misunderstood or chopped apart. The student is told to specialize and hustle. The householder clings to roles that no longer fit. Withdrawal is seen as weakness, and sannyasa as retreat. But the original ashram system was never a ladder, it's a cycle, a dance. Each stage has its wisdom and its trap. Each can teach you something at any age. You can learn at any point, serve at any point, let go or seek freedom at any point in life. What did the sages want us to remember? That every phase of life is important, that none is superior or inferior, that balance is not about rigidly following a script, but about listening to the deeper rhythm of your own journey, learning, contributing, letting go, and finally, seeking what lies beyond all names. In the end, the greatest wisdom is not in clinging to one stage, but in moving through all of them with grace. The real secret? Freedom is not in holding on, but in knowing when and how to let go.